So the next step is to go to your item and begin to add items to it, such as questions and notes. In this case, I'm going to select bucket wheel. I'm going to change the category here again to structural. Again, if I want to upload an image, I can do that. So I'm going to do that. Find that reclaimer image again. Then I'm going to go to the questions tab. So here I can add all the questions that I need to be answered by the inspector on the field. So to add a question, I'm going to click add a new question. And so now I'm going to start inputting all my questions that I need to be answered during the inspection process. So once I've input my question, we've got a sliding scale here of how important this question is. So if it's really important, we can make it 100. If it's not so important, we can make it just leave it at 1. This is based on how important the question is to your inspection process. So here I'm going to select a governed body and a related standard that belongs to that governed body. Then the question category, you select which one you want to make available. So this is where you're going to select whether it's going to be a checkbox, a drop down for the inspector to answer the question. For this particular one, I'm going to select a generic checkbox for pass or fail. So if I had any instructions, I would also input them there to help make the inspection process simpler for the inspector. Again, if I have any related documents, I can also attach them through a similar process as before, but this time it looks at the documents that have already been uploaded onto the system, and so I can select the relevant item for this particular question. Once I've selected the document that I want to attach, I'm going to go to the bottom and hit OK, hit close, and it will take you back to the main page of creating a question. Once we're done with this question, I'm going to hit save question, and you can see I'll add it to a list of questions for that particular item. And the next step is to continue adding questions. So I'm going to add another question. And again, we can use that sliding scale, but this time I'm going to make it very important. Select the regulatory body, select the related standard, and also the question category. So this time I'm going to select a generic compliant or non-compliant checkbox. Again, save question. And you can see I'll continue to add the questions to that particular item. You can add as many questions as you want. You can also copy questions over if you need to, especially if you're going to have multiple questions that are the same for multiple items. If you want to duplicate a template item, you can do that here as well. So in this case, I would say I want 3 copies of this item. So I'm going to create those copies. You can see it'll automatically number them accordingly. If you want to change that, you can do that. But in this case, I'll leave it and then I'll press save. And now you can see it's created 3 more buckets underneath the reclaimer parent item. So I wanted 4 different bucket items, but I didn't want to create them individually, so I used the duplicate template item option. You can see in the item category, I'm creating generic checkboxes. These are going to be the answer options for the inspectors out in the field.